Hello, everyone. I am starting a new series. I'm going to be reading a very important books, and they are. I'm going to start with this one. Now, before I get started, I want to give a shout out to this very, very intelligent, insightful man of the people, Jawanza Kunjufu. Oh, his books is fantastic. Every black parent should read his books. This is the time. I mean, he's been talking about the significance of treating our black children different for years. And I'm just now learning about it, way after my son's been grown. So I'm saying this because, just like me, I did not know. Didn't nobody tell me. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have parents that knew. So we have to start thinking about the future, not the past. We have to start worried about what's going on now and the future. But before I get started, this is important. This starts at day one, developing positive self-image and discipline. It starts day one. You bring that child into this world. It starts in the hospital or at home, wherever that child is born. And you have to have the right mindset. You have to look at that child as a future warrior to bring about the change this world needs. Now, before I get started, it takes more than just telling someone they are important. Speech is just a part of it. It takes soul power. Now, see, that's something that we have lost. It has been, blasted out of us, smoked out of us. Because, see, soul power, it not only touches the mind, but the heart. And when the heart is touched, it motivates you to do things and to not do things. Self-awareness in this supplies us with being a divine nature. We have to look at our kids as divine beings. And we are just stewards. We are here to educate them, to give them self-awareness, to help them develop their skills, their talents, and show them the way to becoming that warrior. Because that's what we need. We're living in a time where it's about to be over. There is getting ready to be a seismic shift. And if we don't get on board, we're going to be lost forever. And like I always say, everybody living now, they're not going to see it. But I do believe that my grandkids' kids will see it. Now, being able to rise above the negative influences and mature into the consciousness that all adults must have. Because your conscience is your God. Because when your conscience says something ain't right, most likely it's not right. And your conscience, it will punish you if you have the right mind and heart. Yes. That's why we have to treat our conscience as God, because we don't want to continue to live this life regretting everything that we say and do, questioning everything we say and do, or not knowing what to do or say. Now, we have to raise our children with adulthood in mind, because they're going to be adults longer than they're going to be kids. And if we want our kids to become adults and live an adult life, we're going to have to raise them to be that way. Because we got too many of our young ones dying in the streets, not even getting to adulthood. And it's usually because of the way they were raised. Now, and we can't let them grow up too fast either. That is another of our mistakes. Letting kids grow up too fast. And that means we have to stop them from engaging in adult activities, looking at adult movies, adult conversation, adult music. I mean, you know what? When my kids, after I got a brain and used it, I realized that I should not be listening to the radio with my kids in the car, because stuff will come on the radio and you be like, "Oh my God!" You know, you're just driving along, and then all of a sudden a commercial come on talking about erectile dysfunction and all kind of stuff. Like, wait. So I just started playing music. The best thing to do is listen to either a talk radio station, or either play some music or play a book when you're driving with your kids. Because our kids need to be in a learning mode. They are in a learning mode, but we have to make sure what they're learning is going to be beneficial. And then we have to take the time to, if they hear something, we have to jump on it and tell them what that is and what that means. Because our kids are learning way more than they should. And we have to realize that girls are more prone to sexual abuse early. And they are prone to violence more frequently. I mean, it is a crying shame when we have to hear about a 17-year-old girl being killed by her 17-year-old boyfriend while pregnant. I mean, we should never have to hear that. And I mean that. That's why I'm saying we are accepting stuff, that we are accepting the unacceptable. Now, school has been altered to spit out the unfortunate. We have to realize that these schools, they have turned back to the 60s and further. They are not teaching our kids because they are looking, honey, believe me, they are studying us. They are looking to make sure that we don't teach our kids to be warriors, because they know that sooner or later, black people are going to rise up and take back their rightful place in this world. They know it, and it's about time that we know it. To achieve a positive image, one have to think positive. Now, it's hard to think positive when all you hear is negative. Or you being around negative parents because of what's going on. I'm telling you, I hear it all the time. I don't understand it. And I hope all, families are not like that. But it's a lot going on. But you have to keep an upper lip. You have to keep your head up. We can't let our kids see us struggling. That is a word that they don't need to know. And they is learning it early. Because when you hear about 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds committing suicide, wait a minute. Come on. Something is not right. It's time to open our eyes and realize that our kids are being destroyed. Oh. Now, it starts at birth. You're supposed to be positive. That child's supposed to be born into a world where there is a celebration. And that means being around people that are celebrating their birth. That child feels that as soon as it's born. When you have people around you, everybody's smiling and happy, and they got gifts, and you are just the most beautiful baby in the world. That child feels that. And that's the way that child should be looked at every single day, as a celebration. Every time that child wakes up, that baby, that child should be hugged. I love you. You is the greatest thing on this planet. I love you, and I want you to be the best. That's the way we should talk to our kids every day. Every single day. And we should demand that other people treat our children the same way. Now, I know we have been through a lot, going through Jane Crow, and now Jane and Jim done had a baby. Rose Crow. That is making sure our kids don't graduate, don't get a proper education. They done took out home economics. They're not getting our kids ready for jobs or to be a business owner. And when I read, I'm going to have to get some statistics here, but when I read, and I know because my child left out of school reading a 5th grade education, reading at a 5th grade level. So we got to do better. But I just wanted to get that out the way right now. But I just hope that I can get more engagement because this is important. I am going, and he got another book coming out. So I'm going to try to go through this pretty quick. I'm going to start with this book, Developing Positive Self-Discipline. You know, we have to. And I just want to read something real quick before I end. I'm just going to read the introduction. Okay. Now, my objective in writing Developing Positive Self-Images and Discipline in Black Children is to look at the complete child and all the factors that potentially affect their future. The 6 chapters, The Politics of Educating Black Children, Developing Positive Self-Images and Self-Esteem in Black Children, A Relevant Curriculum, Self-Discipline, Parenting, Children Are the Reward of Life, and From Theory to Practice, Strategies for Success, are broad and extensive enough to warrant their own individual book. I believe in a holistic approach to solve most problems, and particularly positive images and self-discipline in Black children. My major recommendation to achieve the title of this book are: 1. To recognize that a problem exists in the development of African American children, and to analyze why and by whom the problem is perpetrated. 2. African American children need to be given a frame of reference that is consistent with their culture. Our children should analyze images, literature, history, etc. from an African frame of reference. 3. Our children should be encouraged to maintain their curiosity and enthusiasm to learn. I feel this can be achieved with a curriculum that mandates thinking skills. 4. Self-discipline results from consistent adult role models that are complementary and assertive. 5. The first and primary teachers of children are parents, who should develop a home program which enhances the development of the child's talents and increase the parents' possibility of developing responsible adults. We must advocate and possess high expectations for the best services available to our children. Create supplemental programs and build independent institutions which further enhance the possibilities of developing positive self-images and discipline in Black children. The following 6 chapters provided a review of the literature available on each concept and support the respective premise listed above. I mentioned previously that each chapter warrants its own book. The same applies to the 3 audiences I've attempted to address: teachers, parents, and educational researchers, in that order. The book also reflects my workshop audience. It is also an appeal to the reader to view himself in the same manner. Many teachers are also parents, but could improve their teacher-parent relationship. Teachers are professionals and should continue to keep abreast of the research in their field. Parents are the first teachers of children, and their home becomes the first classroom. Yet, many parents do not plan exercises for their children, nor keep abreast of the classwork brought home daily. Parents often read about their career development, but little on child development research. Educational scholars frequently have drifted so far away from the classroom they used to teach in and the home where they used to raise children that they have often been unable to relate theoretically paradigms to teachers and parents faced with developing children in the 21st century. The book also encompasses theories from broad perspective. I do not believe the problem is simply black and white. It may be easier to describe, but it would not be accurate. I do believe that the integration of schools has reduced the expectations placed on black students. But I do not believe that all white teachers are bad and all black teachers are good. The readings of Malcolm X have taught me by any means necessary. Therefore, if white scholars such as John Goodland, William Glasser, Rudolph Flesch, and Neil Postman can help me develop positive self-images and discipline in black children, then I want to incorporate their knowledge. And Asa Hilliard, Amos Wilson, Jason Hale, Nahum Akbar, and other black scholars. He tells it like it is. And everything that I just read comes from the heart. I do encourage everybody to get this book. So we can read it along, ask questions, do research, encourage each other. Because it's very, very important that we do this. So, starting on the next series, on the next video, I'm going to start reading Chapter 1, The Politics of Educating Black Children. Thank you. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and leave comments. Thank you.